Is your habit of blaming others for your circumstances keeping you stagnant? When you point your finger at somebody, I want you to remember that there's always three pointing back at you. So even if it doesn't look like your fault, if it's affecting you, it is your responsibility. Before deciding to take radical responsibility, I was giving all of my power away to circumstances, to other people, situations, and the worst of all, politicians. I was a victim and it felt terrible. But after learning the uncomfortable lesson that taking responsibility for everything didn't mean that I was at fault, but instead meant that I had the ability to respond, I realized that I had a power to respond in ways that were actually beneficial instead of living a life in a reactive state. This was the key to finding the solution for any problem that I was in, and that's helped me in creating a life of design. In this video, I want to give you 3 circumstances in which taking radical responsibility could tremendously shift the results that you're experiencing in your life. The first of which is who you blame will take control. Let's say that you have this idea that your teacher doesn't like you, and that's why you can't get decent grades. Now, no matter how hard you try, your efforts are worthless because this teacher refuses to give you a good grade simply because you're not her cup of tea. Holding this belief stops you from fully applying yourself, knowing that at the end of the day, it's not up to you whether you pass or fail, it's up to her. And because she doesn't like you, you've already accepted the fact that you will inevitably fail. And because of this belief, you will. Taking responsibility for your results in this situation, and many others like it, will open your mind up to opportunities for improvement where you did not think you would find them. Believing that you can improve is the first step to seeking new and better approaches, like more effective ways to study, or finding a tutor or a study group. Even if it was true in this scenario, by taking radical responsibility for what you believe to be out of your control, you would have stacked up the work ethic and the receipts to prove that you're deserving of a passing grade. This is called leverage, and it'll possibly prove that the teacher probably isn't as professional as the administration would like. Whereas holding and submitting to the belief that the teacher holds the key to your results will remain an untested assumption at best. Number 2, being wrong is actually a gift in disguise. Every time you're wrong about something, you get the opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. There are people all across the globe unnecessarily arguing every day about things that could easily be solved if their first assumption wasn't that they were right, making somebody else who sees it differently wrong. In fact, most arguments could be avoided if people decided to inject a little bit more curiosity into their conversations, replacing conclusions and assumptions they've made before having it. I bet you there's a couple right now arguing about who should take out the garbage. He feels he's right because he always takes out the garbage, and he said he would do it in a minute. She feels that she's right because it's his responsibility and it stinks right now. I bet they're going back and forth about who needs to take the garbage out when the real problem isn't about the garbage at all. You see, all she wants is a man who is proactive and considerate enough to handle things before she can even become aware of it. And all he wants is the space and freedom to take care of his responsibilities according to his priorities, and for his woman to trust that it will be done. In this scenario, putting the idea that I'm right and she's wrong into the back seat and asking the question, what's really going on here, could make a world of difference in the quality of this relationship. Number 3, great leaders take responsibility for downfalls and give praise for achievements. Many of us know the stereotypical boss who is abrasive, controlling, and eager to criticize you at any given flaw you may have. These bosses have missed the mark on being a great leader in exchange for feeling that they have the power over their teams. Having had many bosses like this, I'll be the first to tell you, it doesn't feel good. And it's the main reason why most people quit their jobs. Not because the job sucks, but because management did. As long as this type of boss blames his staff for missing sales goals and underperforming, he will never be able to learn the truth about what's holding them back. Great leaders don't have that problem. A leader assumes 100% responsibility for the results, whether he believes it's his fault or not. Instead of berating his employees, he asks, how can we improve the process? This type of person is far more effective because he asks questions that open his team up to possible solutions rather than shutting their creativity down with critiques and demands. Before I go, I want you to remember that no matter what the teacher, the partner, or the bad boss may represent in your life, remember that taking radical responsibility for everything in your life could be difficult at first, but doing it is very rewarding and essential to your happiness and overall success in your life. I challenge you to find a way to take responsibility for things you don't believe are your fault. And if you need support, schedule a free breakthrough call with me, and we'll tackle it together. Love, be well, and don't forget to have the guts to follow your guts. Peace.